what drew me to Weddings Beautiful is that it was something that I could take on now again, this is still when the internet was kind of new. And I would be sent these packets of information, and I would go to it, and I would do it at my own pace.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had the support, and that's the
Yes.
key, having
Yes.
that support there. So if I wasn't sure, I could always kind of go back and forth and figure out what I needed to do, and that kind of sort of thing. So I around 2006, when I really started opening the business, is when I started going through that program. And it was good because one of the best things about it was, yeah, there's books and there's magazines and all these different resources, but that's not the perspective I needed. I needed
Mm-hmm.
the perspective from the actual planner side of it. And
Exactly.
so much of it was like, 10 tips to hosting a wedding that you see on
Exactly.
in magazine. That's great, but I need to know
The
the inner.
behind the scenes of that.
Right, right. The inner structure. Without that support system, I mean, the other things are nice, but you have to have that inner layer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I loved so much about it.
That is
So,
awesome.
that was after I completed that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was like, okay, now I know where I want to go from
Now
here.
you felt a sense of, I mean, because that's how I felt when I
Hmm.
finished the course, the training. It was like this aha moment.
Hmm.
What I loved, and we can go into that as well. What I loved about the training program was that it was a little bit more than just the basics.
Hmm.
Yes, I mean, there are different assignments, a number of assignments
Yep.
that really broke down the basics from
Hmm.
wedding fashion to etiquette
Hmm.
and things like that, and how to learn the business side of it. But then there was the mental side of it, and the working. We work with people, and we work with different types of characteristics and personalities, and you need to understand that yes, you're learning some of the business side, but
Hmm.
also you need to know if you're prepared mentally and everything else in understanding the general skeleton pieces of what a planner does.
Yes. And that was something else that goes back to my experience as a bride. It was way more emotional than there was. It's so emotionally charged.
Yes.
And having that, I'm like going through, it's like, yeah, yeah, and I related to so much, because on an emotional level, you definitely need to be able to communicate and share and understand and empathize with your clients. And that was a key component that even now I don't think a lot of people really talk about.